Money and its influence on our political process. Question where money is coming from, who is paying for it, and what do they have to gain from paying for it. Whether that be a commercial or ad running on social media, even a flyer I received in the mail. How often do you see something on social media and believe it because it just appears credible or too crazy not to be true? These things are legal and happen quite often throughout our political process. Money is a big deal and holds a lot of power over the political process. It is important to remember that with a lot of money comes plenty of resources to incriminate an opponent with a fancy video. Always be prepared to see who paid for that ad and question why they did so. Not every influence is for the wrong reason. Some just support a person or party. But dark money is still very real. Most people are not even aware that these things go on, mostly because it is done in secret. They use loopholes by operating through non-profits where donations are not as thoroughly searched. Most of the time, groups like this are responsible for some political attacks through false advertising that really can render the result in an election.
What is private equity? Many liken private equity firms to vultures picking the bones of dying companies, which you could argue is a necessary activity. But many private equity firms now target healthy companies, leaving them gutted, unproductive, even bankrupt. Private equity has their hands everywhere, and they're a leading contributor on why the economy is failing at the moment. Wages aren't going up, jobs aren't available, professionals can't find work because all of their jobs are outsourced by private equity firms. The basic business model is actually quite simple. The private equity firm uses a little bit of its own money, a little bit of investors, and a whole lot of borrowed money to buy companies. Then it tries to impose operational or financial changes with the ambition of selling them for a profit a few years later. The main problems with this are that they are typically only interested in the short-term payout. They want to gut and scrape these companies like they are a mountainside and just take everything they got and leave it barren and used up. Private equity is tearing this economy apart, and we should not allow it to anymore.
The United States government has made several efforts to provide affordable housing and healthcare to lower-income households. For example, the Low Housing Tax Credit Program was created by the Tax Reform Act of 1986 with the purpose of providing affordable rental homes to the lower-income households. In this program, the Section 8 voucher would assist low-income families with their rental payments. However, only 1 in 4 low-income households would be able to qualify for the application, and it could take up to 6 years or more than that to be able to qualify for it again. In Texas, the Medicaid program aimed to provide health care to low-income households. These families are often treated by safety net hospitals. These safety net hospitals are a medical center with the legal obligation to treat patients regardless of insurance. Unfortunately, Medicaid does not pay for the cost of everyone's treatment, and these patients cannot afford the treatment themselves, so the hospitals have to pay for it out of their pockets. Since the pandemic, several safety net hospitals have gone out of business, and families are not able to get affordable health care. Today, governments have promised to increase the spending of the Low Income Tax Credit Program and Medicaid to help provide for affordable housing and health care to the lower income households.